I'm Lorelai and I read a lot of comics. I love Skip and Loafer. I love Skip and Loafer. So in case you didn't know, there's 3 categories in the Kodansha Awards where you could possibly be nominated. There's Shonen, Shoujo, and then another 3rd general award. The general award has been given to series like Akira or Kiseiju, which you might know as the English word parasite. Upcoming video on Parasite soon because I fucking love that series. But as the manga sphere has gotten more diversified, we're even seeing the general category go to works like March Comes In Like a Lion. Skip and Loafer was nominated twice for the general category, and on its 3rd nomination, won. People absolutely love this manga, and I am one of them. Let me just, as a general rule, and obviously there are exceptions, but as a general rule, whenever a protagonist man is written by a woman, he will be the most either A, attractive, or B, sad boy, and C, most relatable of any man in fiction you will ever meet. The mangaka who's currently writing Skip and Loafer, because it is ongoing, is Misaki Takamatsu. Not only that, and I'm not sure if they got into this into the anime version because I didn't watch the anime version, I only read the comic, but there's actually really good transgender representation in Skip and Loafer as well. Now, I normally would transition into telling you the story of Skip and Loafer here, but I can't really do that because if I were to try, I would have to start with our protagonist and then slowly branch out into everybody that she meets and talks about because they all come together in one narrative. But they all each have their own individual story as well. The whole plot of Skip and Loafer is that it's built of many individual character arcs that are still ongoing. At no point is the arc finished. And I guess that's kind of what high school really is because they're all intertwining and mingling with one another to create one longer narrative about this time in high school. So if I were to give you a synopsis of Skip and Loafer, this is really all I can give you. The plot around Skip and Loafer follows Misami, a girl from a really northern hick town that gets accepted into a very prestigious school in Tokyo. The only way she's able to go to this school in Tokyo, because obviously it's really expensive, is that her aunt, Nao-chan, works as a fashion designer and lives on her own, so now Misami can go and live with her. On her first day to her new school, she gets lost at the train station because there isn't a train where she lives, and she meets Shima Sosuke, and they become inseparable after that. This leads to her getting more and more friends in her first year classroom. I love that it isn't even revealed until volume 4 or 5 that Nao-chan, the guardian of Misami in Tokyo, is a transgender woman. I personally think the manga does a fantastic job intertwining current Nao-chan to the Nao-chan before she transitioned. Both of those people exist inside of Nao-chan as an adult. And I think a lot of times in media, the transgender individual is oftentimes portrayed as just the end result without all of the baggage that came before that, except for any misgendering or obvious transphobia that's going to inevitably happen to that character because transgender people can never just be happy. Nao-chan's past plays a big role in who she is now, and it affects how she sees her hometown, how she views herself, and even how she talks to her boyfriend sometimes. There's a really sweet and subtle moment between Nao and her mother that I won't spoil. You should read it. You should read all of Skip and Loafer. You should love Skip and Loafer. It's such a good comic. TLDR, even really grumpy old people can be sweet. But the crazy thing is this manga is not even about Nao. It's not really even about anybody. Like, it's about the people in Misami's life. I guess she can technically be the protagonist, but like, it's about her and everyone else. Nobody is excluded here. I could sit here and retell each story, but it would have to go person by person by person. On a really surface level, on the surface, Skip and Loafer is a romance story between Misami and Shima, who is a child actor with a lot of attachment issues and baggage and a lot going on with him. It's clear that Misami and Shima like each other from very early on, but because of Shima's baggage, it doesn't really go very well at first. But they both have some internal work they have to do with themselves and their friends, and even just life in general before they can even think about bringing another person in. Think of like right person, wrong time. And not only them, but everybody has very deep-seated prejudices in this manga. Makoto is one that I really empathize with a lot. She isn't very stereotypically attractive and harbors a lot of envy and hate towards stereotypically pretty girls who can get kind of whatever they want or in general have a very high social standing in school. But Makoto ends up learning that this prejudice is what's stopping her from developing a friendship with a really genuinely good person. That person's name is Yuzu, and she has her own problems. Nobody seems interested in her as a person. She gets invited along for things because she's the stereotypically pretty girl. If she didn't get invited, then that would be weird. Of course, oh, is Yuzu going? Oh, only if she's going, I'll go. Except they don't really try to talk with her at all when they're actually there. She's like a doll just there for decoration. She's expected to play the part of the mean girl with all the other mean girls in class, and she's afraid of getting ostracized if she doesn't. Having interests or weird niche hobbies isn't good for Yuzu, who by the alpha men are viewed as a high-value woman. Whatever that means. Makoto and Yuzu are two different opposite ends of the spectrum, but they end up becoming really, really good friends. And they're just two examples of how the character development in the series really gets really good. If you're looking for men's character development, there's also Shima and Yamada. Yamada is a character that initially thinks, any girl will do, I just want a girlfriend. He kind of objectifies women a little bit. But once he hears a girl actually stand up for him in class, he finally gets like a real crush on a girl and is like, oh, not just any girl will do anymore. I kind of specifically want her as my girlfriend. This is the part where we're going to get into some pretty heavy spoiler territory, so if you don't want any of that, skip to this timestamp. Right now we're kind of at volume 6 or 7 in English, so I'll summarize what's happening right now, also make some predictions into the future. So right now Misami is moving up into her second year in school and is moving up in the student council, which is awesome. She's made her own little friends there, and she seems to really be carving out a spot for herself in the school. The problem is she's not really friends with anybody in her new class except Makoto. The people who were once really close friends in year 1 have now broken up when they get put into different classes in year 2. She's really struggling to make new friends in this class and also balance the previous friendships that she had in year 1. She and Shima did try dating for a little bit after she confessed to him, sort of, and Shima's the one that suggested going out. Sort of. But Misami is actually the one who suggested they break up. She said it just doesn't feel right. It didn't feel like the right time. It didn't feel like Shima, according to her, really liked her like that. She says, my like is probably different from your like, so we should just go back to being friends. While they were in that trial period though, there was a really weird event that happened. A group of mean girls jokingly asked Misami and Shima if they were dating before one of the girls went, haha, no way. That would never happen, right? And Misami rightfully got really pissed that Shima didn't stand up for her. After that, another similar event happens where Misami is seen with somebody from the student council. This time, 2 of the girls and Shima are walking together where one of them jokes that he would be a better fit for somebody like Misami. Shima this time, without Misami there, does stand up for her. He says, look, I'm serious, don't joke like that again. After he does that, he feels really awkward and his heart is pumping, but he knows that was the right thing to do and what he should have done the first time. After all, even if they're not dating, Shima cares for Misami. Why shouldn't he stand up for her, even if they are just friends? After that event, Shima can't help but find himself staring at Misami or getting flustered whenever they're alone together. At this point in time in the comic, we're starting to see that Shima definitely is starting to see Misami in a different light, guys. I think he's gonna be the next one to confess to her. But what can he do? They already tried dating. And Misami dumped him because she didn't think he liked her like that. And that's mostly where we stand between Misami and Shima. My prediction is for the next couple of volumes, I think it's going to be more focused on Misami and Shima's relationship. In terms of the other cast members, we see that Yamada has a girlfriend, which is awesome. Makoto is starting to have crushes on other boys, but nothing serious is happening there yet. Yuzu is still kind of recovering from that incident that happened with the 2 girls in her class where they lied to her and set her up on a date with another guy that she has never met before because he thought she was pretty. It was just overall a really awkward and almost dangerous situation, so I'm really happy that Yuzu got out of there, but I'm really sad that happened to her. But luckily she and Makoto are still friends. Egashira has gotten turned down by Shima, but she hasn't admitted to Misami that she even confessed to him in the first place. She and Naochan have started getting relatively close, and also Mukai, who is Shima's friend, who really hasn't been given a center stage all that much, has started understanding a lot of Egashira's inner feelings a little bit by proxy. I also predict that we're going to see more of him in volumes to come as well. Potentially, I think he's going to be a love interest for Egashira in the future. So right now, we're really just at the top of this roller coaster, just waiting for something to happen, for Shima to maybe realize his feelings, or for, one of the other girls to really find their place, because right now, nobody is really all that happy. Everyone is just trying to make do with what they have right now. I really don't hate a single one of the characters, and honestly, I see myself in all of them, at least a little bit. Whether it's the feeling of ostracization like Naochan, whether it's the resentment towards stereotypically beautiful people like Makoto, whether it's feeling like you're weird just for having niche hobbies or interests like Yuzu, or whether you feel like you have an image to upkeep, or you have to prove yourself to people who don't even know you, like Egashira, like you're worthy of their time or something. There's something really relatable in pretty much every single character. And their stories aren't even all that dramatic. Like, nobody had like a parent die in a horrible fire or something like that. You don't need a really overly dramatic backstory to get their points across. And that's why I really, really, really like this mangaka. I think she's a fantastic writer. Sometimes you're just a sad boy because you're a sad boy. And that's okay. Everyone's a little sad. So overall, I really, really, really do recommend Skip and Loafer. I gave it a 9 on my anime list, which is a horrible website you should never, ever, ever go to. But my score is subject to change because it is an ongoing series. I'm just extremely happy that it won the general category award. I think it's very well deserved. It's a comic for all ages, all genders. You know, everyone can enjoy something in Skip and Loafer. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please leave me more recommendations in the comments. Leave me anything you want. Give me your favorite drink. Tell me your favorite drink. What are you sipping on lately? I'm starting to dip my toes into some shoujo manga, so hopefully some more content like that will be out soon. Until then,